She Who Awakens by Alina Chamberlain. Part 8. The Practices Makes Everything Perfect. Level 3. The Breath of Life. We begin Level 3 by returning to our elemental center, the abdomen. In a world that demands women tuck it in or hold it together, we have been conditioned to treat our bellies as a problem to be corrected rather than a sanctuary to be inhabited. Physiologically, a perpetually braced abdomen keeps your nervous system trapped in a state of high alert. Today, we initiate the thawing of this physical armor. By restoring softness and fluidity to your center, you move from merely observing life to truly absorbing it. Step 9. The soft center. Your abdomen is not something to be drawn in for the sake of an aesthetic ideal. It is the cradle of your power and the ocean of your deepest feelings. When your belly is soft and alive, you possess the capacity to truly digest life's experiences. Today, we grant ourselves permission to breathe all the way down to the roots. The practice, the soft center. To consciously deactivate the protective bracing reflex and stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. Throughout the day, regardless of where you are or what you are doing, perform a softness check. Intentionally release the muscles of your lower abdomen. Let your belly become soft, natural, and expansive. Notice the immediate shift in your perceived level of safety. Question for self-reflection. In which specific moments today did I catch myself holding my breath or pulling my stomach in? What was the underlying thought or fear driving that contraction? The ritual of the day, the breath wave. Lying on your back or sitting comfortably, place both palms on your lower abdomen. Inhale deeply through your nose, directing the air so that your hands rise visibly with your belly. As you exhale, imagine the warmth from your palms melting any internal knots or tension. Repeat this for 10 cycles. With each breath, feel the floor of your inhale dropping deeper into your pelvis. The sensory anchor, the softness check. Our training of the conscious mind continues with a focus on the center. Every time you see the color red, take a deep breath into your belly and ask, is my center soft? The science of softness, the physiology of joy. Relaxing the abdomen is one of the fastest ways to hack your stress response system. When we experience anxiety, the brain triggers a fight or flight response, causing the core muscles to tighten as a protective shield. However, this neural pathway is a two-way street. By consciously softening the belly, you send a biological signal to the brain that you are safe. The vagus nerve. This is your body's primary highway of calm. It travels through the diaphragm, into the abdomen. A soft, moving belly during respiration stimulates the vagus nerve, which immediately lowers your heart rate and reduces cortisol levels. The second brain. The gut contains the enteric nervous system, producing nearly 95% of your body's serotonin. A braced abdomen inhibits this hormone of joy. Relaxation literally creates the chemical space for pleasure to be synthesized. Emotional capacity. A tight belly acts as an energetic armor that prevents joy from entering your deeper system. By breathing into the abdomen, you increase your capacity to process feelings, allowing them to flow through you rather than becoming stagnant blocks. Somatic inquiry. Recall a situation from the last 48 hours where you felt a surge of anxiety or haste. If you had simply exhaled and completely released your abdominal muscles in that moment, how would your perception of the problem have shifted? Write everything down. Your notes, self-reflection, and anchor. The Practices Makes Everything Perfect. Step 10. Dissolving anxiety into joy. We have reached the midpoint of our work with the abdominal center, a pivotal stage in your somatic transformation. Today, we bridge the gap between physical relaxation and emotional liberation. Anxiety cannot sustain itself in a fluid, moving body. It requires stasis and contraction to survive. When you release the grip in your abdomen, you aren't just relaxing muscle fibers, you are expanding your internal capacity. This expansion ensures that stress and worry do not become stagnant knots in your system, but instead pass through you like water, leaving behind a fertile space for joy and radiant energy to take root. The message of the day. Anxiety always thrives in a frozen body. But the moment your abdomen begins to move in the natural rhythm of your breath, fear loses its foothold. Today, your task is not to fight your anxiety, but to simply give it more room to dissolve by softening your belly. You will discover that in this open space, a quiet joy is born, the simple, profound pleasure of existing and breathing. The practice, inviting radiance. To utilize diaphragmatic movement as a tool for emotional regulation and to increase your receptivity to positive states. In moments when you feel the onset of haste, minor worry, or mental business, execute a conscious pause. Shift your breathing into your lower abdomen. Visualize that with every inhale, you are inviting a warm, luminous light into your core, and with every exhale, you are surrendering the day's tension into the earth beneath you. Question for self-reflection. How did my perception of a stressful situation change the moment I allowed my belly to become soft? Did I feel the anxiety shrink while I felt my own presence grow larger? The ritual of the day. The melting ice. Find a quiet moment to sit or lie down. Visualize a small piece of ice in the very center of your abdomen. This represents your accumulated tension and protective armor. Place a warm palm over this area. With every deep, rhythmic breath, imagine that ice slowly melting, transforming into warm, revitalizing water. Feel this warmth flowing outward to your hips, your spine, and your heart, bringing a sense of profound peace and visceral pleasure. The sensory anchor, the emotional radar. Our training of the conscious mind continues. Every time your eyes catch the color red, it is your signal to perform a belly audit. Tune into your center. Is it braced or is it free? If you feel a contraction, simply exhale and grant that space permission to be loose and soft. Notice how your mood shifts the instant your biology returns to a state of safety. Step 10. Completion. By mastering the art of softness under pressure, you are becoming the sovereign of your own state. You are learning that your power lies not in being rigid, but in being fluid. By the end of the day, write down your feelings. Try to fully experience and relive each touch within this new reality. Your notes, self-reflection, and anchor. We move from stillness into motion. We will explore the dance of the center, using gentle circular movements of the pelvis and abdomen to awaken stagnant energy and circulate it through your entire temple. The practices makes everything perfect. Step 11. The dance of the center. We move today from the art of stillness into the power of motion. In the previous steps, we cultivated softness. Now we learn to circulate the energy that softness has released. Physiologically, the pelvic and abdominal regions often act as storage sites for stagnant physical and emotional tension. By engaging in the dance of the center, we physically break down these energetic armors, restoring a sense of flexibility and flow. This is not about performance or aesthetics. It is about returning to your natural state as a fluid, sentient being. When your center moves, your joy moves with it. The message of the day. Life is a continuous flow, never a static pose. When your center freezes, your capacity for joy freezes with it. Today, we grant the energy within permission to move. Imagine your hips tracing the sign of infinity, while your abdomen follows with soft, rhythmic grace. In this dance, there are no rules of correctness. There is only the visceral pleasure of being vibrantly alive. The practice, awakening the wave, to stimulate blood flow to the pelvic organs and release the deep-seated muscle tension in the PSOAs and lower back. Find just 2 minutes during your day in silence or to a favorite track. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart and begin soft circular movements with your pelvis. Allow the movement to be led by your lower abdomen. Feel how the rotation echoes through your hips, your lower back, and your spine. Question for self-reflection. What physical sensation emerged in my body following this brief dance? Did I notice a new warmth, a subtle pulsation, or a sense of weightless ease in my belly? The ritual of the day. The elemental dance. Choose a piece of slow, fluid music that resonates with your soul. Close your eyes and begin to move as if you were composed entirely of water. Let every impulse for movement originate from the very center of your abdomen. Do not strive for a beautiful dance. Strive for a sensitive dance. Notice how, with every rotation, your belly becomes warmer and your internal ice continues to melt into a life-giving stream. The sensory anchor, the impulse of flow. Our training of the conscious mind continues. Every time you see something red, it is your signal to execute a microflow. Perform one gentle, almost imperceptible circle with your hips, even if you are standing in line or sitting at your desk. Ask yourself, where is my energy in this moment? Is it frozen in stasis or is it flowing? Step 11. Completion. By moving your center, you have transitioned from being a passive observer of your body to being its active, joyful inhabitant. You are teaching your nervous system that movement is safety. Write everything down. Your notes, self-reflection, anchor. We reach the final days of level 3. To complete this cycle of abdominal work, we will integrate the sound of power. We will combine pelvic movement with a soft, internal humming to vibrate the tissues from the inside out, reaching the deepest layers of your center. Part 8. The practices makes everything perfect. Step 12. The sound of power. We conclude the third level of your journey by integrating the most profound physiological bypass for tension, the voice. In somatic therapy, there is a documented biomechanical relationship between the jaw, the throat, and the pelvic floor, often called the throat-pelvis axis. When the throat is constricted, the pelvis is locked. Conversely, when we release a soft, low-frequency sound through relaxed lips, the abdomen and pelvic floor respond with an instinctive, reflexive relaxation. Today, we grant your energy a voice, using internal vibration to dissolve the final microscopic layers of armoring in your center. The message of the day. Today, your body finds its authentic voice. Orgasmicness is not found only in silence, but in the freedom of sound. When you allow a vibration to emerge from the very depths of your abdomen, you are declaring to the universe, I am here, and I have the right to feel. Let this hum vibrate through every cell, dissolving the last remnants of resistance. The practice, the vibration of joy, to use internal vocal resonance to massage the internal organs and stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system through the vagus nerve. Throughout the day, whether you are moving or sitting, begin to release a soft, prolonged sound such as or UUU on your exhale. Do not force the sound. Let it be a natural byproduct of your breath. Feel the vibration travel from your throat directly down into your softening belly. Question for self-reflection. Where in my body did I feel the most pleasurable vibration while humming today? Did this internal sound massage help my abdomen reach a new level of softness? The ritual of the day, sounding infinity. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart and your knees slightly soft. Begin tracing a horizontal figure 8, infinity sign, with your hips. On every exhale, add a deep, soft, guttural sound. Imagine the sound is not born in your throat, but originates in the very center of your womb space. Continue for 3 minutes. Notice how your jaw becomes heavy and relaxed, and how your pelvis begins to feel alive, weighted, and energized. The sensory anchor, the sonic impulse. Our training of the conscious mind reaches its level end peak. Every time you see the color red, perform a short exhale with a soft, whispered HAAA sound. Fully release the abdominal muscles as you do so. Experience the instantaneous relief of letting go. You have successfully completed Level 3, the breath of life. You have softened your physical armor, reconciled your center with your emotions, awakened it through movement, and finally gave it a voice. Your vessel is now ready for a higher voltage of energy. Write down your notes. Self-reflection. Anchor. Now that your internal space is open, we must protect it. In this stage, we clean your external environment and schedule of the energy parasites that drain your vitality. To prepare for tomorrow, reflect on this. What is the primary thief of your relaxed, belly-centered state in daily life? Discover the secrets to nurturing your lifestyle and love style at Wish for Love. The electronic version of all chapters from the full book She Who Awakens by Alina Chamberlain can be found at wishforlove.org.